Who the heck you playing with, man? What's going on here? This dang thing crashed halfway through recording this crap, man. Shoot! Let's get right on into it anyways. Look, folks, I know you've been heavily awaiting this video as we talk about the anticipated earnings. May 15th, 2023. Hey, it's great. I hope you're excited. I know I am. Let's get crack-a-lackin'. Just because I feel like it. That's what I feel like. I must say, this week is a week highlighted primarily, in my opinion, by retailers, your brick and mortars. Oh, baby. I know you're excited because I am. I love these companies, you know. You've seen them in my portfolio. I know you have. Um, so, we're going to get into a couple of those. Got really three main focus ones I'm taking a look at here. I'm sure you guys have your own. Let me know what you're interested in here in the comments below. Better comment. I'm waiting on you. I need to see at least 3 comments here from you lovely folks telling me great things. I hope you're going to be taking my word there and actually doing this. I know you will. I know you will. Anyways, we're starting off in a very fitting manner before open, 6 a.m. on a Monday. Are you kidding me? Monday.com. What the freak is a Monday.com? It sounds just depressing, okay? You know what's lovely about my current schedule? Guess who's actually off on Mondays now? I freaking am off every Monday, so I don't get a case of the Mondays. I get a case of the Tuesdays because that's my Monday. And then Tuesday morning, sometimes you just wake up not happy. Okay, it's just how it goes. Anyways, Monday.com on Monday. I've never even heard of this company, but there you go. Oh man, this keyboard's kind of gross. Let me give this a spritz here real quick. You hear that? Oh, the straw came off. No! It's a disaster! Okay, well, I'll never be using this compressed air again. Anyways, Workhorse coming right after them. And you know what? You know what about this Workhorse here? I hope you're excited about them. I'm excited. Workhorse, great company. Love to see what they do in terms of the earnings potential here. I found the straw, by the way, folks. Next, we have Azul. Needless to say, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, that actually means blue in a little thing called Espanol. That's right, I know a little thing or two. Some people call me bilingual. I don't call you. That's some people call me that. Not everybody calls me that. That's just what the people say. I didn't say it. That's what they said. Okay? That's what they said. Then Catalent after them. I hope that's how you pronounce that. Freyr following them. Who in the world? Look, that's just not. It's just not proper. Wherever we're putting these random letters, just let's do something right here. Tower Semiconductor, pretty late on the semiconductor train, as we've seen most of those reported earnings a couple weeks back. Two varying results, right? I mean, mostly we saw good earnings this quarter, but the consensus there was a mixed opinion when it comes to the outlook. So we'll see if they're able to repeat some of the same. Travana after them. Altus Power. That's right. You're trying to make up a science fiction name. It's Altus Power. There you go. That's a Marvel movie or something. Novin and then Lightning Motors. Really, to me, I haven't looked enough into this one. Lightning Motors definitely sounds like if Nikola is a fake company, Lightning Motors definitely is a fake company. They do not produce anything. Just a guaranteed fact. And you, right after that, after close on Monday, I know you're excited. Invo Bioscience. Someone here has got to be excited about that. I know I'm sure not. Look, if you're gambling on these little bioscience, biopharma stocks, it's up to you. I just would not play earnings on them, that's for sure. But if you're right, you could be winning big. These things move big on earnings. Just a fact of life. Greenbrook, you know what? Not too excited here Monday. I'll just tell you that right now. Xwell after them. Navitas. Look, this is a Spanish day. Apparently, this is just great. Rumble. I did not know Rumble was a publicly traded company. I don't know if anyone's used the service. It's okay. Definitely some improvements that could be used there, but I don't really use much social media anyway, so I don't know too much about Rumble. I don't use it because I don't use any social media really. So how about that? Um, but well, I'd like to see. I'd love to do more research there. Canoe after them. Not how you spell canoe. Just telling you right now. Beam, Crown, and then Dragonfly. I did just want to tell them that tail is too long on that dragonfly or whatever attempt that is of a logo. It's just not good. It looks like a palm tree that is blowing in the wind and it's made of rubber. Okay, that's just what it looks like. Really not a great logo there. Someone's got to work in the graphic design department. I'll be happy to help them. I can make a better logo in 2 seconds probably. Tuesday, we start with a banger, one that I'm very excited about. And what is it? Oh, yeah, it's the Home Depot. Bum 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 bum. Have you ever, you ever hear that song and just want to freaking just dance, man? That the Home Depot, dun, 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 dun. They start banging them. Woo! Sheesh, that's good. That's when you know you're getting older. Is when you start when you hear that Home Depot theme and you just start going nutty. Ah! Maybe I have too much testosterone flowing. That's what it kind of sounds like. I need to chill out. Anyways, why do I highlight it? Well, look, this thing's been kind of a piece of junk this year so far. Down 8% year to date so far. Okay. We look on a 1 year basis. Even on a 1 year basis, this bad boy's down 1.88%. I mean, there's not been not a lot of great stuff here from their highs. I mean, this thing's down 14.5%. Muted myself before that sneeze. It was teasing me. It came back. I muted myself though. Anyways, down 15% nearly from the highs. It's been kind of hit hard. I mean, there's no doubt. Year to date, down 8% is not what you like to see. And a decent way, about $50 per share off of its 52-week high. Definitely something to note. Now, when we look at the earnings, what do we expect? Well, there's a couple things I tend to look at here. And as someone who's actually, in the market of purchasing a home, you definitely tend to look at a few things with Home Depot. One being, well, how's the housing market doing, right? This is a big, big thing there. Now, one thing I've noticed at least, the inventory is down quite massively, right? There is no denying that. So a big, big trend we're finding right now because of such a hot, hot market, low inventory. When houses come up, these home flippers are coming in and buying houses in cash, flipping these houses, selling them within a year. And how do they flip these houses? Products from the Home Depot. Now, a lack of inventory does hurt them, though. Lack of inventory in the housing market because there's less houses for these dirty, dirty flippers to flip, which is annoying, by the way. I just wanted you to know that, just because of the fact that, I can't buy my own freaking house. I got to pay $90,000 over that dang listing price just to beat out these freaking losers. Screw you. Now, if I was in the same position, would I do the same? Yes, I would. Let's just be honest. Would you not make more money if you could? I would. But their average analyst consensus here is a $3.80 line on an EPS standpoint compared to $4.09 of a year ago. Obviously, quite a decent bit of decline. And we look from a full year standpoint, expected to be nearly $1 less than it was the year prior. Now, I don't know what to believe here. There's a lot that goes into this, especially when we talk about the massive inflation from a lumber perspective. There's a lot that's negative and really headwinds here facing Home Depot. We've seen a little bit of slowing inflation, which does. Let's be honest. I mean, it's still going up. How is it still going up? Can anyone explain this? How are we this terrible at figuring things out? But that does hurt them to an extent, when it's not going up as much, because then you see if they sell the same amount of product, it doesn't really help them, right? If inflation might be decreasing, but it's not. There's no deflation. Let's just be honest. But they got to sell more and more as prices will go down to equate to the same amount of sales. Now, it does help the EPS line in my eyes, but it's not there yet, right? We still have prices increasing, so that's not helping them just yet. They can't raise the prices too much on the consumer, otherwise they're going to lose sales. It's a fine line when you get an absolute garbage economic condition like we're in right now. Now they're expected 38.22 billion on a revenue standpoint. That's compared to 38.9 of a year ago. A nearly 1.5% decline here. Now, what do I expect here? My line I would give them, let's just be frank, I think they are going to hit near this high estimate. I think you'll be looking closer to $38.9 billion. I think there's a beat here. I'd be shocked. I wouldn't be surprised if I see that thing just hit right around that $39 billion mark. That's my personal opinion on it. I think they do hit that, which overall, I think it's going to be a flat year over year. I really don't think there's going to be much movement year over year. That's just my opinion on the matter, okay? Then we get into a couple more following this. We've got C. Baidu, I know, is a lot of people will be following Baidu. I've kind of gotten out of a lot of these Chinese stocks just because I don't know, price movements have been so sharp, hard to necessarily tell what's going on half the time with these bad boys. I think that's On Semiconductor. Don't know why it doesn't say that. I guess that's just their logo, but it looks like a person with a huge honker. Like, look at the nose on this freaking guy. He's staring up at the sun, probably looking right at the sun like an absolute imbecile, burning his retinas out. I hear them frying like eggs as we speak. Anyways, he's got a huge nose. That's what I'm trying to tell you. PaySafe. Don't trust them to keep my money safe. Tencent Music Entertainment. Make My Trip. I'm pretty sure that's a stolen logo somehow. I don't remember who's got that logo, but that's definitely stolen. They just put their own words in there. Am I wrong? Is that just Jack in the Box? No. What am I thinking? What am I thinking of? What is that logo? Someone's got that logo. That's all I can tell you. Angie's List? I don't know. Anyways, they stole that logo. IQ, IYI, otherwise known as the symbol IQ. You know these guys. You know, the ones that have gone from like $20 to $2 a share in the span of a year and a half. Chinese streaming company. Don't really mess with it. Again, I just really don't mess with these guys anymore. Don't follow them enough just because these price movements are crazy on these bad boys. You just never know. Huya and Stratasys. Okay. Starbulk following them after close Tuesday. Doximity, fake name again. Kyndryl first reported earnings here, which is kind of wild. I know they actually just started trading. So to report earnings already, I feel like that's early. I mean, how are they? They literally just started trading 2 weeks ago as of a spinoff from Johnson and Johnson. Yes, that's correct. Then Keysight Technologies, Copart, the Container Store. Never been to one of these bad boys, but again, we get into retail here. Never been to a Container Store. Don't actually know what you do there. Is it a general store? Is it? It's just not a great name. I just don't like it. It seems like you're misleading people because I'm sure there's more than what they might say in there. Agilysys, yeah, I said that. Next Gen, another one of these, man, just a little box, and they put the letter in there, and then some of the letters aren't in there. I don't know. I feel like everyone's got the same logo here. What's happening? Am I going crazy? I might be having a stroke. PTC, and then Nixoa. Not a real name. I mean, let's just be honest. That's someone trying to create a unique name for their child. Instead of Noah, they went Nixoa just because they wanted to have their kid have a unique name. And then the kid deserves to get bullied. Let's just be honest with each other. Before open Wednesday, really the parent deserves to be bullied is, the real thing. But is Target, and why do we bring up Target? Well, hey, look at this. Very fancy, predominant retailer out here. Classic brick and mortar store. This bad boy is up 4% year to date, right? Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Certainly a good margin off their 52-week high. $223 the 52-week high. Now, right now, currently trading at that P/E ratio right around 26. The forward P/E ratio is actually a little bit higher, right? We're expecting a little bit of a decline this quarter in terms of EPS, but for the full year, they're expecting quite the growth. Last year there was a lot of headwinds last year when you looked at Target specifically in terms of inventory and pricing power. I mean, this just hurt them quite a bit. Now, they've taken a little bit of benefit, obviously, due to inflation. Again, and we've also seen a little bit of benefit because inventory is coming back, right? starting to finally figure out this nonsense, supply chain situation. We're getting there. Still failing in a lot of aspects, but we're getting there, right? So they're expecting an EPS line $1.77 against 2.19 of a year ago. I really would be shocked if they didn't beat that line. Again, I think it's a T-ball, right there. That ball is on a T right there for him to knock it out of the park. Now, the revenue a little bit more. That's what I'm more anticipated on here. So 25.33 billion expected versus a year ago 25.17. This is where we get into a tough spot. What do I think about this one? I would say 25.5 billion is likely the line they post. Now, could be wrong, but I think that's the line they post, representing around a 1% growth year over year. Nothing significant, but again, you don't expect that out of the retailers, right? You really don't. I mean, this is just very basic, and especially in tougher economic times, right? They're going to be consistent here, right? I mean, people are, regardless, these stores have products that people need, and people will be consistently going them regardless of the economic conditions because they have to. They have to. There's nowhere else to go that's really, in many cases, that's cheaper. Now, Target has some more expensive items, right? And maybe those take a hit. But look, these retailers here, you just got to do. Oh, right click. Whoops. You gotta shop there. So regardless of economic times, that's why I like these retailers, because even in times like this of potential heavy recession, is what they say. We've been in a recession technically twice by the definition, but now they're saying, oh, maybe now we're going into a recession. Get out of here. We've been in a recession twice. That's what that means. 2 quarters of GDP decline. Okay. Anyways, I'm excited for Target earnings. We'll see what happens. Could be one where I see that they pop up in a decent amount here if they do beat, based off of obviously last time reported earnings when they declined quite a bit. So I feel like people are very heavily anticipating this. TJX, you know them. TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Home Goods, you know them. Discount retailers, cheap products, usually mostly in the clothing industry and clothing section, clothing sector, and then you obviously have the home goods segment, tacky decorations. That's what they're known best for. Similar to like a Michaels, actually, Home Goods is, but they've got a lot more tacky things here at like Home Goods or TJ Maxx or and don't forget those disgusting British people. Oh, it's TK Maxx. It's TK Maxx. That's what they're always talking like, man. What's that about? Why is it a TK Maxx, bro? It's TJ. Look at this. Bro, why are you calling it TK Maxx? He's pretentious. Anyways, Jack in the Box following them. Uh, Otherwise known as Jack in the Crack. We all call it Jack in the Crack. I know you did growing up. You called it Jack in the Crack. And you want to know why? Because the food tastes like it's coming out of someone's crack. It's disgusting. It's cold. It's terrible. The only thing people eat there is the tacos whenever they've smoked a little bit too much of the reefer. Anyways, Arcos Dorados. Man, is that the McDonald's logo? That's the McDonald's logo in a circle. Man, what is going on here? These stolen logos are everywhere. Anyways, Wix, Dynatrace, Walk Me. Now that is a stolen logo. Holy crap. Someone's got to tell me what that one is, but I know that one's stolen for sure. Guaranteed. Riskified. Who's naming these, bro? Who's naming these companies? I mean, this is a joke. Who creates a company and wants to name it Riskified? It's just terrible. What a joke. Anyways, Innoviz Technologies and RB, not as good as RB's. These guys don't have the meat. These guys just don't have the meat. Let's just be honest. I tend to not have too much either, but it's average, okay? Average meat, at least, at the very least. After close, we've got Cisco. Hey, we love Cisco. Very boring company. Very boring company. But one of those that, again, regardless of economic conditions, Cisco's going to be there. Most of their business just comes from products that they sell to businesses. You know what I mean? From phone technologies to everything. Hardware to software. They've got their WebEx system with the software standpoint, hard phones. They've got it all, okay? They've got technology and equipment that businesses rely on, and that's really not going to change regardless of economic conditions. So they're boring, but hey, we like boring sometimes. dLocal, definitely a new dating app for women looking for men. That's what dLocal is. I've seen similar ads on the other side of things, sometimes on the internet. Anyways, SQM following them. Stone with a little volume symbol right after on top of their name. E to the power of volume up. Okay. Take-Two Interactive, video game studio. Interesting to see what they have here. Take-Two makes some quality games usually, pretty quality studio. Love to look at the earnings always. We've seen Activision Blizzard obviously report pretty stonkin' numbers, as those British people say. Stonkin'. What does that even mean? I don't even get it. Synopsis. Now that's just a word that they made into a company name. Plenty fine. The Boot Barn. Never been into one of these either because I ain't no redneck. Let's just be clear. Do they only sell boots? Because if they do, I can't fathom the business model. But hey, there's not any around here because we don't have a lot of people in boots. Now we do have people that think they're country here, right? When you're in the Midwest, you get a lot of people that try to think they're country or southern. Listen, folks, we just ain't. We just ain't. So quit wearing your freaking boots thinking you're a cowboy. Where around here are you a cowboy? You're just not. Bolero? What? Bolero Corporation? They're public too? We do have a Bolero near us. It's okay. I don't know. I don't go bowling enough, I guess. But I like bowling all right. Didn't realize they were publicly traded. Kind of random, but hey, here we go. ZTO Express, another one of these Chinese. I don't follow them. Zenvia. Okay, yeah, that's a singer, I think. Thursday before open, Alibaba. Always do follow that one. I am excited about that one. Again, we get into the Chinese companies, but I do follow Alibaba because there's a lot of interesting price movement on it. It's just fun to look at. Walmart, my last of the focus stocks. Year to date, 6.59% up. Looking beautiful. 52-week high. That's right. We're right at it right now. So that is something to consider. This is a boring stock. Doesn't move a lot usually because it's Walmart. And why do I say that? Again, tougher economic times. This is a company people rely on. Now, you don't come to this company for massive expected growth, but here, we're actually looking for a decent amount of growth this year. Not necessarily from an EPS line. It's going to be consistent. 1.31 expected versus a 1.3. I think that's plenty fine. I think that's relatively flat year over year. I don't think that's a bad consensus. Now, revenue, kind of shocking. 148.54 billion compared to year ago 141.57. That's a massive whopping whopper 5% increase year over year. That's kind of wild. 5% increase is massive when you're talking about 140 billion. I don't know about you, but I couldn't even sniff that amount of money. In my life, I'll never sniff even a Billo. But anyways, not even a Bilbo Baggins. I wouldn't sniff him if I had the chance. You know he stinks. Anyway, what in the freaking? Why you got to be doing this to me in these freaking ads? You see where this thing says muted? I've absolutely had my eardrums exploded by this ad. I don't even know who this guy is, but look, he blew my eardrums out, and I'm very upset with him. What the freak? That scared the crap out of me yet again. What a joke. I'm done with you, Yahoo Finance. I'm going to put on an ad blocker. Eat that. I don't know why I don't have an ad blocker on. No. Anyways, that's a massive expected line here. Look, I think it's going to be tough to hit that. I think it's going to be tough. I think I think it's probably closer to the lower estimate, right? I think they'd hit 148 billion. Now again, even in bad economic times, people flock to Walmart. They got less money to spend. Walmart's cheaper than the other retailers. They flock to them. I think it's closer to a $148 billion line. Just because I think spending is down slightly here. Slightly when we look on a year-over-year basis because inflation continues to grow, right? And Walmart prices haven't necessarily increased in kind with inflation. They've definitely increased, but not necessarily as much as some things have. Going back to this, Canadian Solar, get out of here, Canada. We don't care about you. Lightspeed, Grab, okay. Canada Goose, yet again. Look, Canada, we got to stop with this. Bath and Body Works. Um, women love Bath and Body Works. Let me tell you, I did actually get a collection of uh, what do those call them? I'm making the motion on my side. Hand sanitizers that are smelly online for my fiance for Christmas or something. I'm not gonna say I don't use one of those bad boys. The peppermint one. Sheesh, oh gosh, that's good. Gambling.com. Don't know how that one's. I've never been there, but I feel like some of those websites use some interesting stuff. I've heard they use like people against their will to be the tellers. So we'll see. Evogene. Anyways, I can't bet here. Can't gamble here. Eagle Materials. If you want to gamble, just bet on penny stocks during the earnings. After close, AMAT Applied Materials. Know you're excited about them. Farfetch. Not a great Pokemon. I've never once used him in my party ever because he's kind of just a bum. I hate to say it. Great in the cartoon. It's great in the show. I mean, Farfetch was great. He was a great character, but not necessarily from a useful standpoint. Ross. I'm not going to say Ross Dress for Less, okay? It's not called that. It's just called Ross. Let's not need to add unnecessary words in here. Just call it what it is. Globant. Clear Sign. DXC Technology. 360 Finance in China. I don't know about that. Flowers Foods. What? Cavco. Then we got Friday. John Deere. None other than the John Deere. D-Wave. And mine's not large enough to do the wave. Foot Locker. After them. I don't know. I don't know how a business focused solely on shoes survive. You see the pun there? Solely on shoes. You see that? I hope you like that joke. Not everyone's like me, though. It is kind of wild. You ever see people that spend so much money on shoes? I don't get it. I buy one pair of shoes that lasts me a year, and then I'll buy one more pair after that. I'm not making Foot Locker. Foot Locker hates me. And I just buy them online for cheap from like Chinese producers. I can't lie to you because they're giving me them for $20. How could I say no to it? And they're not the most comfortable sometimes. I've never had a comfortable shoe though, so how would I know? CINT maybe, and then RBC Bearings. They're bearish. Look. Anyways, that's what I got for you, folks. I've been taking up too much of your time. I hope anyone even stuck through this. I'm an idiot. Have a great rest of your day.